Welcome back, collectors, to the Eclectic Collection. Today's episode 58, the top 10 ways to combat evil entities. Because, you might have to know this. I guess looking back, being a Walking Dead fan, I probably could have gone 10 different ways to slay zombies, but since they're actually not an actual thing yet, we're working on it. But someday, I'd say get sharp objects, keep them around. Never know when you might run out of bullets. But I digress. Watching too many horror movies, and if you've listened to the Eclectic Collection lately, I'm in the spooky theme because of the impending fun Halloween season time, whatnot, changing the weather, etc. And I guess just from gleaning all the different things that I've watched in all these horror movies, it's always like, how do you outsmart the monster? How do you kill the demon? How do you get past the vampire? What do you do for the werewolf? What is it? So I just compiled a list of very important things that I think can help. And most of them are household things or basic spiritual things that you may or may not have laying around. So if you want to stockpile these and keep a go bag, that's on you. But I'm just saying. Number 10 would be fire. So Frankenstein was very, very scared of fire for obvious reasons, because he was put together by stone stitchery of different cadavers, and lightning brought him to life. So the idea that even the Scarecrow in the Wizard of Oz, you think about fire being a danger, and of course fire could be dangerous for anybody, but fire can also be a purification. When you cut the head off of a vampire, and I say this like we're doing this every day, but when you cut the head off of a vampire and you have to burn the remnants in order for it to go away and be truly cleansed of evil. So that's a pretty good one. 9, of course, would be sunlight. Now that's kind of more in the vampire realm as well. But, again, daytime is always going to be less scary than nighttime. So to get to the daytime, travelers at night back in the day, they were concerned about different things, not just animals and wolves and bears and physical predators of the land, but also more shady cats are out at night because less people are traveling. So sunlight can be just a natural combatant in the sense of doing things in the day versus doing things at night, or actually burning up a vampire, UV light, sunlight, to destroy them because they can't walk around in the light. You could argue that the light-dark factor, light being good and dark being bad. I love to talk about that with Star Wars, because if you look at the Star Wars realm, the Empire's cold and dark and very sterile, and there's not a lot of females in it. And you see this just a whole dark theme, and everything's gray and black and blah and very, very sterilized, almost like a clinic or prison. And then when you think about the rebellion, everybody's in white. Even when they're in the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, they're on the Hoth system, and it's all snow and it's all pure and it's all white. And of course you have Princess Leia, and you have all these females involved as well. And you start to see the droid element too, and everything's positive and shiny and good. So even to just argue Chewbacca's an earthly tone too. You have the browns and the earth, and when they go to Endor, the Ewoks, there's a lot of life surrounding it. So it's always been an argument with me. So with sunlight, you have that light, dark, chiaroscuro in art terms, white versus black contrast. In 8, number 8 is steak. And as much as I love the fact that my sound engineers are playing with me here, because Kevin, of course, doesn't talk, and now Evan has come on board, and he writes steak, S-T-E-A-K. Gotta love Kevin and gotta love Evan, because Evan's always thinking about food. But in reality, it's S-T-A-K-E. Go, I just love catching their mistakes when I'm looking at this stuff. Kevin's like, I don't make mistakes. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, someday I'll get him to speak. I swear, guys, he does exist, and he's really here, because I couldn't do it without him. But anyhow, steak as in a steak knife? No. Steak as in a big wooden stake that you would put through the heart of your enemy. Now, that's going to kill anybody, especially it's going to kill a vampire. So again, I'm kind of heavy on the vampires, but you could stake, pretty much anything or any entity. It certainly worked with aliens in the chest cavity. So anything like that, it's going to kill your heart, therefore your life source, and lights out for that person. 7 is a moderate cleansing unit of sage. So sage is just, you're supposed to burn sage and put it all around the new house, or if you're in to any kind of spiritual cleansing, or psychic mediums use this a lot, or if you want to have any kind of containment or clearing of the air or spirits or whatever, sage is often burnt in you'll see wheatgrass and stuff, and they'll burn it, and they'll walk around and have the sage element go all over the house, kind of like an incense situation. But it doesn't have to be a house; it could be an outside spot. It could be like an object or something that they want to purify or cleanse. So sage is big there. I guess parsley and rosemary and thyme are jealous, but I just had to get that bad joke in because I have Simon and Garfunkel in my head. 6 is my favorite substance in all the world, garlic. I probably can't be a vampire, even though I do like to stay up late just because of the amount of garlic that I consume. Garlic is a natural vampire deterrent, and it also can stop people allegedly from turning into one, at least if you believe in the Blade series. I know that as an actual veggie or herb or whatever you want to call it, it's certainly functions as a spice and whatever. But they say that if you eat a lot of garlic, that you can lower your blood pressure. It's very good for you. People take garlic, which is like a spin-off of garlic, and I certainly eat garlic by the clove, so smell alone can be a deterrent. And there's a lot of home remedies that involve garlic that if you leave it out or have like it can help you breathe and things like that. So a lot of homeopathic stuff with garlic. Obviously, vampires a no. I guess he wasn't into Italian food. I don't know, but garlic's a no. So don't ever invite them into your home, by the way. They render you powerless. So that's a biggie with vampires. But if you're going to have them in, certainly serve some garlic. Number 5 kind of works with every negative energy, dark force thing. That's St. Michael's medals. So St. Michael is one of the 3 archangels. You have Raphael, and you have Gabriel, and you have Michael. And Michael is sort of like the be-all, end-all of the slayer of all bad things. And Michael is also patron saint of policemen and pilots. And he's just racks up patron saint qualities everywhere. But they say when you purchase a house that you should have your house blessed. And again, I grew up Roman Catholic, so that's totally normal. They used to have a block collection every year, and a priest would come and bless the house. But when you purchase a property, these days especially, because like there isn't much new land, I would totally investigate what it was. Was it an apple orchard or was it an Indian burial ground? Because they ain't buying any property on there. But if you're purchasing a house, you should investigate the backstory of that house, have the land blessed or have the house blessed. And then in the corners of your property, you should bury a St. Michael's medal in the ground, in the corners of all 4 of your property. And of course, have one in the home as well. And there is a St. Michael the Archangel prayer that is literally supposed to be the biggest ward off of, that wards off anything evil and anything terrible. So any kind of dark force or dark entity or any kind of demon or anything like that, because good always wins. 4, of course, going up the list would be the crucifix. So a cross is just a cross. It could be made out of anything, but there's no figure on it. A crucifix actually has the Jesus figure on it. So that's the difference between a cross and a crucifix. Fun fact. So the crucifix is supposed to be not just, again, vampires, but anything. Obviously, if you have a crucifix, and it's blessed, that's even better. So, of course, it's going to, have a positive faith and positive vibes to your home or your dwelling, your entity or whatever, because, its faith lives there. Obviously, with the vampire situation, of course, it would stave off any kind of evil spirit or any kind of evil entity that would come at you. And that could work for not just vampires, but, demons or any kind of terrible possessed situation or anything. And a lot of times with that, you will see the bad things step back or cower in a corner, or if it was like a vampire or something, they would turn into a different form to get away. You'd see that often. They would cower from anything because that they're the mythological representation of the opposite of anything good. So that's why that would happen. And of course, you could always wear one around your neck or have a rosary or anything like that to keep with you. 3 is silver. So silver bullets, generally with werewolves, also with vampires. Silver in general is a pure metal, and a lot of times you would stab any kind of vampire with silver. It should disintegrate. The Blade series really plays on that. Silver nitrate plays onto that. Silver bullet through the heart for the werewolf. Silver bullet will kill a werewolf. And then just the idea that silver is like a pure metal. So any kind of silver thing, you generally see silver, especially with like a lot of church paraphernalia like ciboria or if you're talking about a chalice or something, you see silver and gold there too. So commodities, if you will. 2 is holy water. So water in general is a life force and always going to be a good thing. But holy water, of course, is blessed water. So that's going to definitely stave off anything horrible. A lot of times you'll see people, if they're trying to keep away from something bad, they'll put a circle around them and of holy water. They might even light that on fire so they're double protected, and then they'll throw holy water out and the sign of the cross to keep people away. So there's that classic scene of the power of Christ compels you, that kind of thing you see with the holy water and the crucifixes with things like horror movies and The Exorcist and whatnot. So just the idea of holy water, throwing it at or on something that is evil, it's going to burn it or scold it or make it go away and cower it. And if you're in it, then you're, of course, protected by it. And the first one that really gets a low profile but is a big deal is salt. Salt is actually considered a sacramental. And there's one in the movie Warlock I watched years ago where they bury this evil book in the salt flats of Utah because no entity would ever go near salt because it's just a bad thing, and they wouldn't challenge it because there's too much good that comes out of salt. When you have a child baptized, they put a little bit of salt on their tongue, and obviously water, of course, and it's holy water that they're baptized with, and they also anoint them with chrism, which is a special oil. So it's like they're triple protected. So same kind of concept. And with salt, of course, it's also the idea that it's a preservative, so it's going to like keep the good, if you will. A lot of times I'll put a ring of salt around them as well if they're going to try and do something protecting like that. So salt is a big one that gets a lot of attention. So those are the top 10 things that I could think of to combat any kind of evil or anything bad. And again, you're not going to run out and make a go bag. You might, but with the spooky season coming on, think about that when you're watching your horror flicks. If you liked what you heard today, then check us out at eclecticcollectionpodcast.com or listen to us on your preferred platform. I'm Terry Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.